All right, we're back for another edition of the Queen of the Hill. We got the current champ, Cheryl Erbrecht, versus new contender, Angeline Gonzales. They're playing 8-ball. Race to 6. And we're starting right now. Looks like Angeline won the leg. Or they flipped, but I told them the leg. It is what it is. We'll have to crack down on that next time. Because of the snow, we've got like a winter storm out there. We're starting a little bit later, and people aren't able to make it in. How's everybody doing? Make sure you share, grab the link, paste it on Facebook, send it to all those groups. We do appreciate it. Helps out a lot. Cheryl at the table. Not an easy starter shot. We got Patrick Glenn and Kyle Drake coming in for the Jesters and the Knights. Kyle might show up for the Queens as well. Kendall had to run. He's been here running around like crazy the past few days. And it's not going to slow down. We got the state foosball tournament this week as well at the Mad Apple. Had darts last week. Had the Queued Up podcast tour stop here yesterday. And the weeklies must go on. Thanks, Lemire. Appreciate it, Michael. It was surprising for me even, if you know what I mean. Get you the duo view here so you can kind of see what's going on with the table. I know Michael Taylor spent a lot of time in the booth yesterday. He did what he could to commentate most of the matches. I think we had a lot of semifinals on there. We had the finals. Sam Henderson, the Rhino, I believe, and John Fields, Little John. If you're looking for, if you want to watch that match, check out our channel. It's yesterday's live stream. It's called Cue It Up. And it's free. Go ahead and click it. It's probably like a 9-hour video, so you can kind of zoom around and fast forward, rewind, whatever, and watch what you want to watch. And when you see me shooting shots, go ahead and skip that. Not the easiest of outs. I think the 10 might go. If you get the right angle on the 15, I don't know how wired that is. I think the 12 goes in the side, so there is a roadmap. Might not be as difficult as I let on to be. Just like that. Looking at the 14. It's one of those decisions that's hard in 8-ball. Do you take the 13? Do you take the 14? Or do you take the 12? You probably don't think about the 15. So narrows it down to 3 shots. Debbie says, go Angeline. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Debbie, you can let me know if I'm not. A little bit of draw. Opens the door for any one of them. I still wouldn't take the 15 yet. I'd probably save that for the key ball. I like taking the 14, 12 in the side, stop shot on the 15. I mean, you can just stop shot all of these, really. You just got to get away from the rail on the 12. You don't want to get behind that 5 ball. It's about your only issue. Looks like Cheryl agrees. Ooh, got a little fancy. She still got it. You just got to put a little stroke on this one, follow forward, hit the 12 in the side, come off the rail about 6 inches, maybe a little less. You can kind of stop shot your way to victory here. So keep in mind we have matches all day. The Jesters is going to be Josh Cady and Todd Holzer. And the Knights, Jim Rusnick versus Craig Crutina. Going to go with that. Ooh, hit the point. Opportunity lost. Not an easy out. That 5 ball doesn't have a lot of options. I mean, she's got a cluster down on the bottom left of the table as well. This is tricky. Let's give Cheryl another opportunity here. I think I'm taking the cut on the 12. I mean, you can go back and forth and then still use the 15 for the key ball, which is usually the ball before the 8. Looks like the angle is a little less on the 12. And if you shoot the 15, you got to go back and forth. And there's really no way to get back to the 8 unless you get perfect on that 12. Ruth says, bring it home, Cheryl. Thanks for joining. Make sure you get out there and take this YouTube link and share it on Facebook. I mean, it's free to do, and we want to try to build up the viewers. So friends, family, fans, sitting at home in a snowstorm with nothing better to do than drink coffee and shovel, can watch a little pool. There we go. She made the first ball. It's always tough on stream. First game. Thanks, James. Yeah, the field was rough. They were supposed to have 48 people, and only about 34 showed up. I don't know how that happened, but there's still a tough field. And I'll tell you what, watching Sam Henderson and Tark, the two youngsters, play, unbelievable. Felt like I was watching a Mosconi Cup match. Thanks, Fong. Appreciate it, man. Hope your leg's feeling better. Fong was out ice skating, and he slipped, broke his leg. He's getting a cybernetic implant. He's going to have a robotic leg now. They should give you a robotic arm, too. It'll help your stroke. You could draw like 6 lengths of the table. Now here's the key shot right here. It's a tester. Interesting. A lot of English. Left herself a little tough. Oh, whatever, Fong says. Hey, you don't want me to show him your prize picture, do you? I have that ability. Well, that's a tricky shot right there. 7's a little close, but I think I'm going to be playing safe here. Hit the old outer point. All right, another tester. 7 feet on the rail. Just got to roll this in. Hit the cue ball in the center. Oh, what do we got here? The trophy husband. Might want to call your wife in to see this because you've got your 15 minutes of fame. Say, honey, I'm on TV. I mean, it's not Good Day Wisconsin, but see, how long should I leave that there, Fong? 5, 10 minutes? Good enough. Great shirt, by the way. And we miss you at the Apple. It's not the same. So pump that inflatable boot up and get your butt in here in a week or so, or whatever. Whatever you need. There we go. It's going to be a long weekend. Here till 2 a.m. Bright and early here, 10 a.m. Just for you guys. So share. Make it worth it. Clever shot. Almost a 3-ball combo, but also a 2-way. No shot on the 8. Good. I'm glad, Fong. We'll showcase that throughout the day for you. Thanks, Pete. Appreciate it. It was fun. You know, what really helped me out was the side pot that Ron put together for the 500s, locals. Look at that. Wow, unbelievable shot. We're going to have to hit the replay on that one. Look at this shot by Cheryl. Long rail, jacked up over a ball, hits it. 2 rails, actually. 8-ball in the corner. Very nice, very nice. Unbelievable. Correct, Fong. 3 rails. You would have done 3 rails? You're right. It kind of was in that perfect position, but you can't knock it. Cheryl made it. Clean. First game. Again, we're racing to 6 here. It's BCAPL rules. Cheryl's got 1. Angeline 0. That was our first game. They always say the first game and the last game are the hardest. The Sunday 8-ball starts at 1. Sign-ups at 12:30, 12:45. Send me a Facebook message if you're running a little behind. One ball on the side. Take a look at the layout here. Not a lot of options. Stripes got a couple balls, the 11 or the 15, maybe the 5 in the corner if you like solids. I think I like Stripes because of the 6 and maybe the 4 ball. I mean, even the 2-3 is in a weird spot. Well, that's tricky. Jacked up, 11 ball in the corner. Beautiful. Cheryl's been the queen for, I don't know, 200 Sundays. Thanks, Mark. A 625. Yeah. I'm telling you, my break was so bad that I threw off all the 600-700 players. They didn't know what to do. Like in their mind, they thought, I'm going to run out and then break up all the clusters, you know? Oh, right. I got MH. MH is going to help me out. Did Kendall send you a message?
No.
Oh, cool.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
I heard a beep. I didn't. I was just working on keys. Well, hello.
Hello.
Mr. Pool player. Almost champion, third place.
That's good enough for me.
What a great performance you put in yesterday, Mr. G.
Appreciate it. I was just talking about that because Mark Bell said I should be a 625 now. Then Fong says Mark Bell should be a 400 already.
Well, did you hear he said on the commentary that you were only the second person ever with a
Right.
4-something rating to get into to cash into the top 4, and of course you went into the top 3. So I was going to ask him, that might make you the only person.
I hope so.
With a 4-something rating, and he says, he's got an average rating in his tournaments of like above 600, and you knocked off.
It was tough.
Two 600s yesterday.
Right. They had to go to 6. I had to go to 4.
Yeah.
But they didn't even get to the hill. So I think a lot of people see that and they say, well, the handicap wasn't really in play here. You know? I mean, if they would have got to the hill,
yep,
and I won, then they'd be like, the handicap's BS. I hate handicap tournaments, all that stuff you read about. But didn't really come into play. I tried to snap off like 3 games right away, and then I'd fall apart after that. Give away 2 or 3. But thanks for helping me out in here, MH, and thanks for the pep talk.
Yeah.
He gave me the old pool hall junkies in the bathroom pep talk.
Well,
something about being a tiger and eating their cubs or something. I don't know.
I
forgot.
Think you must have been talking to someone else. I don't remember any of that, but I do remember giving you a little pep talk, and just to let everybody know, because that was like you were at what place? You were sort of guaranteed 8th place at that point.
Yeah, 7th, 8th.
And you came into the pro shop, and the way you were talking, you're like, yeah, that's better than I expected, and I could tell in your tone of voice you didn't expect to go any further.
Yeah, I was done.
And I said, get closer so I can slap you in the face. There's there may not be any guarantees, but there's also no guarantee that you can't go any further. And just go out there and be dangerous. Don't try and get too. The psychology can change. If you get deeper in a tournament than you expect to, then all of a sudden your psychology changes, and but you don't want that. You just go out there and
correct,
be dangerous and give it a chance, and you did, and then you won the next match, and then you won the next match.
Right. I mean, just one at a time. I mean, Mike was playing really good too. He knocked off Josh Payne and Chad Byer, and that was a pretty good match. Couple matches for him too. So, fact that I got to play Mike.
Mike who?
I don't remember the last name, but the brackets are on League Pool Stats. Yep. I mean, he played great.
Oh,
wow.
what a bank shot. That needs a replay. That was fantastic.
Unbelievable.
So we haven't since I got in the booth, I haven't spoken about this match here that's in front of us, but I saw her eyeballing that long diagonal bank shot. And those are kind of tricky. They're kind of out of the blue, aren't they? And what a great shot that was. Oh, no.
Oh, boy. That's that Pegasus thing, right?
Why is it called Pegasus?
I don't know. I heard it called Pegasus. It's like you make an unbelievable shot.
Yeah.
And you say, that shot was for the crowd. And now the 8-ball is for me.
That's right.
You're supposed to walk around, breathe, and focus back in.
Yeah, it's very easy after you make the tough ones and turn a difficult position into a chance where it all looks open. It doesn't mean it's automatically finished, and you've still got to focus on the next ball.
Little tricky here. Here's that replay.
Yeah, watch this. What a great shot this is.
Cross bank with shape on the 8. Nice. MH is playing his lullaby on his phone. Is that time for a nap in the pro shop? It's a little early for a nap, isn't it?
No, that was an incoming. I changed my ringtone on my phone, but I'll turn it down.
It's very soothing.
I know the last one, the one before that, it always sort of stressed me out every time the phone rang.
Yeah, that's no good.
And now, yeah, it's like that ringtone is. I don't know if anybody heard it there through the microphone, but
probably not.
That's the same music I'm going to have playing all day long when I'm 105 years old in the old people's home. It's just going to be playing in the background, soothing.
So Mark Bell says he's retired. He's not playing pool anymore. He retired at a 360.
What?
Yeah. Fong says Mike Taylor said you'd be the first person under 500 if you won the tournament.
I hope that's a joke, Mr. Bell.
Oh, come around. Here, I gotta talk to Kendall quick before he takes off. I think Kendall left with his wife. Maybe they were going to go out and shop or something. I don't know. But he came back looking for his phone. So, I mean, when you're sleep deprived, nothing goes smoothly for you on a day-to-day, I'll tell you what.
Turn the microphone on. Yeah, you were both here late battling it out. Of course, that was quite a match that you had with Kendall.
That was fun.
In fourth place to make it to third place.
I played loose. And I just said, I mean, my chances are lower, not low, not nothing, but they're lower. And I just tried to play safe and kind of waited for that opportunity. Like, if there's a couple clusters, I mean, I'm not going to, the only player I knew that could break clusters up, multiple clusters in 10-ball and 8-ball, was Larry Neville, number one, my favorite player, rest in peace.
Yep.
And Little John. The young Little John.
Yeah, and I remember you mentioned yesterday before your match with Little John that he's your idol.
He is. I mean, I walked into KK Billiards and he was there, 16, 17. I was a year or two older. And he never ceased to rub in how bad I was at pool on a daily basis.
including what he said to you last night, right? Can I tell everyone? No.
Well, let's see if Angeline makes this 8-ball, and then we'll go into that because that is pretty funny. This is a clutch shot right here. She wants to get on the board. Oh no, and a scratch.
And Angeline, of course, following in her sister's footsteps, her sister Michelle challenged last week.
Oh, that's a sister.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. And that'll make it 2 for Cheryl. All right, so
anyway, yeah. While Little John was sitting in the hot seat, of that. No, yeah, no, we're waiting for his hot seat match. No, wait, he was in third place, wasn't he? He just lost his hot seat match, and he's waiting for you.
Correct. He lost to Sam Henderson.
You were just about to play against Kendall, and the winner of that match was going to play Little John. And Little John said to you, I hope you win, because then it's going to be basically a bye for him.
Yeah.
And
he was really
after
he looks me straight in the eyes and says that.
And so you did win, and you beat your match with Kendall, and then you did play against Little John. And quick review of the tape, it pretty much was a bye for him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry to say that.
It was. I mean, he played really good. I didn't have the opportunity to, make a shot and then get a leave. If he did give you a shot, you were in nowhere land. He was playing chess.
Yeah.
And at that point, I was playing tic-tac-toe, not even checkers. But it was fun.
It's actually tough for the psychology from his point of view, playing a player where you feel you should win easy. And does that change the way he plays? Because he needs to still stay sharp for his next match, assuming he beats you.
Right.
Against Sam Henderson, who was the one who knocked him into the
and Sam was playing
losers.
Unbelievable. Oh, look at that. Oh. Still a foul.
How many balls do you have to hit a rail?
4. 4 balls have to hit a rail or go in.
We'll have to review the tape. How many was that? Okay, 1.
It looks like she knows. They know the rule. Good call. So she's going to re-rack and take over the break.
Breaking with a jump cue.
Oh, I don't know. It looked like
a very short, thin, light cue.
Could be. Oh, we're having an earthquake on the table. I'm going to have to switch views here. There we go. You get half of MH.
Are you trying to say you want to snuggle
and
up
half
closer?
of me? Well, you can lean. You can roll your chair back, and then kick your feet up on this little wall, and then look at when you lean back, you get nice and comfortable, and then you're right in the middle. Yeah, I know. Look at that. I got all the tricks.
Nobody wants to see us anyway.
I don't.
I'd get rid of the booth camera if I was.
I know you got to smile, and you can't pick your nose. What good is that?
Good follow through on that. Look at that. I always try and do that. What she did there. Can you do a replay on that?
Was it too late? But she does have a great follow through.
I like that
straight
on the break
at
shot where
the
the cue
ball.
stick follows all the way through and Q-tip passes halfway through the table.
What would you be taking here while we're looking at the full table analysis?
Well, she doesn't have very good shots, unless she wants to shoot the 3 ball, which is a tough shot. I think the 11 ball stripes are okay. In fact, stripes
looks like that's what she's choosing.
Both groups are not terrible.
Ooh.
Assuming that 4-5 combination looks kind of nice. The 1-7 combination isn't really that good. So I do slightly favor stripes here.
So if I'm Cheryl, I'm shooting probably the 11. Try to get shape maybe on the 10.
Yeah.
Leave the 12 alone.
Finding a way to get, the 10 is tough to get on. You've got a very small window there.
Because if you come short, you can always shoot the 14.
Yeah, and I might be tempted because of where the 13 is. Well, no, you need the 13 to get on the 9, don't you?
But you got to pick a suit. Like, I wouldn't shoot a tough shot right now.
Well, and of course, if you're not, playing run-out pool, then you have to start thinking, well, play a stripe and leave the 12 ball.
Does she know it's open?
Block in the pocket. She actually probably doesn't know it's open.
We can't say anything.
I would guess because
I'd be shooting that 11.
Yeah, the stripes.
Unless she really likes solids.
Yeah, but I doubt it.
Well, now the 9 ball may be open. There goes Ron. He did all his weekly paperwork for the leagues. I think he's out of here.
And he had a good tournament yesterday too, didn't it?
He did.
Of course, if anybody doesn't know what we had here yesterday, it was the cue it up 10 ball stop, and a lot of good pool played last night.
Yeah, like I was telling him, Ron set up a side pot for us 500s locals, and we figured that was our only hope. at, getting our entry fee back or something,
You're
and,
saying you had an additional little gamble,
yeah,
just
little
just
side pot.
that only the Man Apple regulars could play in.
Correct. And also, I think it was the Mad Apple regulars that were under like 600. It's kind of the
Yeah.
lower end. I don't know if there was a cap or if he chose them. I don't know. He got 9 people in it, and winner takes all. And it was $10.
And that was you.
It was, but the why I'm bringing this up is because Ron was right there with me
Yeah.
when he was playing Kendall. If he would have beat Kendall, he would have passed me up. And so we were really just rooting for that. And then after he lost, I ended up playing Tom Menasha. And that was our finals, because whoever won that won the side pot.
Right.
So after that match, I was already kind of like packing my cues
You're
up.
already in the money.
Yeah. I was happy. Oh, so Fong was saying MH, he's talking about Mike that plays for Coleman team on Tuesday.
Oh.
Big guy, tall. So I don't know if you know, that's the Mike I was talking about that beat Josh Payne.
Yeah.
And
It's a good shot there from Angeline.
sorry, I don't remember last names. It's tough. I got to remember a lot of names.
Bank shot on the 10, and that is a good shot choice here, because was she cutting the 13? Better off banking the 10. I think she was cutting the 13.
Yeah.
But moved the 10. So actually the 13 wasn't a bad shot, because it does move the 10. The 10 ball was what I was worried about, because I just thought it was tough to get on.
Well, Cheryl's got some problems here. The 1 ball's tricky, I don't think it goes all the way down right now. She's jacked up, has to shoot the 7. The 4-5 is tough. She's pretty smart. She slipped that letter right under the booth glass.
Yeah,
I'd never seen that happen before.
That's awesome.
We're going to have to put in like one of those mailbox slots. Passing letters to the commentators. Because for those of you that don't know, MH works in the pro shop. So to have him in here, not making all that money in the pro shop is a gift. So you better appreciate it. Get out there and share. Or super chat. All goes to the juniors program here at the Mad Apple. The juniors play on Sundays, which we've mentioned a million times. But for anyone that may be new, every Sunday we have a juniors program here. It's a juniors league. They get training. They play a round robin. And this stream made it possible for us, for them to not have to pay their weekly entry fees. Their dues. So they get all that for free. And if they play in the tournaments, they get half off on that as well. So they only pay $5 for that. If they're under 400, it's tiered entry. So whatever it is, they pay half. And then to top that off, help with cues, repairs, tips, sometimes even like sponsorships to state tournaments like Caden Hillman. Xander Rasmussen got a cue from Jacoby, and a lot of people chipped in on that, including the stream. I should say Kendall. Came out of his pocket, but that is the stream. We wouldn't be doing this if Kendall didn't have a vision and kept pumping money into it with no return. So, hats off to Kendall. And it's good for the juniors. Back cut on the 4. I don't like these back cuts, but she came out nicely. I think Cheryl might be able to shoot the 1. If the 3's in the way, it's going to be a little tricky to get out here unless maybe the 3-1 combo on the side. See how creative Cheryl can be. See, we got Ron's taking off. Mark West is here. We got some people lining up for the Sunday 8-ball tournament. and we got snow outside. Looks like a snow globe out the windows. But I'll be honest, I was talking to Cheryl and Angeline. They said the roads, once you get into our area, are actually really good, just wet. So we've got warmer and less snow than north of Appleton. And again, we're at the Mad Apple Burger and Billiard Company in Appleton, Wisconsin. This is the Mad Apple Extreme YouTube channel. Subscribe, share. I am Chris G, and I'm in the booth with MH Penglaze.
That's right. The silent partner.
The putting Penglaze. Well, you're trying to work out a deal.
I'm in the middle of a text here,
Yeah. And for those that don't know, if you're looking for a pea shower or a new tip, come see MH or anything, a table, shuffleboard.
Yeah, we're a legacy billiards pool table dealer. We're a pea shower custom cue dealer. McDermott cues, Viking cues. All Wisconsin made.
They even got the Viking Valhallas.
We do.
You know, good starter cue. But I recommend a pea shower. I just got the pea shower Rogue, and then I just started winning all the tournaments. As soon as I got that shaft, I won the state tournament, a couple of weeklies.
You did win the
third
state
place.
tournament too. I mean, you really are.
All with that shaft.
I'm surprised you're not a 600 by already.
Well, when you have 5,000 games in the system and you lose all 5,000, it's a little tough to go up.
But that's what I've said to you before is I think you're actually a lot better than what your rating says, and you do a lot of commentary on a lot of matches, and you're reading these tables and you're thinking along the lines of these top players, and I really think that's helped your game a lot.
It does.
I think you're the fastest improved player.
Well, you know, I played a long time ago, took 20 years off. No one believes a pool player when they say that. But when I came to the Mad Apple and I saw players, you know, just unbelievable skill with cue ball control. You got Mason and Kendall, and Larry Neville was here, and everybody. I don't want to leave out anybody. You, MH, with and the way you take the physics and train, you know, dominant eye, physics, all that. It's a lesson. I realized I didn't know anything, so.
No, and I listen to your commentary. I think you're one of the best commentators, not only because I think you've just got a natural, good sort of voice for it, and
gift of gab is what I've been told.
Personality for it, yeah.
Yeah.
Even
I don't know
when,
if I like that.
Even when you're in the commentary box by yourself, and that's something I can't do. If anybody asks me to commentate, I always need someone else in the box. So
you might have to. If it gets close to 1 o'clock,
Right.
I have to go enter people into the tournament. You might
right.
be on your own for like 3
Oh,
minutes.
right.
3 minutes maybe.
That's
You'll
right.
be all right.
Because Fong, poor old Fong, out there, got his feet up. He said he was going to stop in yesterday, and I'm thinking you shouldn't probably move at all. Oh, there he is. Fong, are you still watching? Trophy husband. I never saw that shirt before. That's cool.
Yeah, it's a great shirt.
Fong's broken his fibula. Slipped on the ice. He's got an appointment to have an operation. They're going to put pins or screws or something.
There we go. Yeah, I didn't know that I thought he just broke somewhere around his ankle and they were going to put an inflatable boot and he'd be back in a couple weeks. But then I heard some rumors about a surgery and you know, I mean, that's going to be rough.
Yep, and he's going to be in a wheelchair for a recovery period for a good number of weeks, it sounds like.
So he'll be back Monday. No, I do believe Adam Starkle. I don't know if he's listening, but he's probably going to start running the tournaments as Fong's backup starting this Friday coming up. So I'm going to finish off today and tomorrow, and then Adam and I are going to shuffle, but he's going to be the main.
Has anyone talked to Adam about it?
Yeah, Adam wants to do it.
Okay.
He was all pumped up about it.
Okay.
But I was like, well, Fong already asked me. I'm here, you know, so I'm going to do this weekend. I'm just powering through this weekend.
Yeah.
Like, no sleep, just power through it.
And Jeremy Gould wants to know, are you saying that the carbon fiber shaft actually improved your game, or is it just a sort of a confidence thing?
Oh, the Pea Shower Rogue? Oh, no, it's an unbelievable shaft. The only thing that would be second in my book would be the Q-Tech 15K. And that's because I started with that, and I don't know if that means anything. But once I got the Pea Shower Rogue, and I went through them all. I tried them all. I had a Wheat State. I had a Q-Tech. I had a Jacoby second or third generation. Not the new one. They have some new one that they say doesn't make a twang sound.
Well, and the P-Shower was ahead of the game because it definitely is a completely different.
It's like wood.
Yeah, it's not just carbon fiber. It's a mixture of carbon fiber and aramid fiber. And if you look up what's aramid fiber, it's a thing they use in bulletproof vests and boats,
Right.
and they've somehow, and they don't tell us how or what they've done, but it's a completely different thing. It feels more wood. It doesn't sound like all those other carbon fiber tubes, which are just hollow tubes.
Right. You drop it on the table, and it sounds like a wooden shaft. So when you hit a ball, it doesn't sound like you miscue every time you hit it.
Yep.
It's not a confidence thing. I've got no confidence. Nothing will change that.
And the other advantage of the Rogue over the other carbon fibers is the frictional properties are better. It's closer to wood, whereas those most of those carbon fibers, they really don't slide through your hand as well as wood does.
Right. Some are shiny.
And a lot of carbon fiber,
like
if you look at
a
lot of the carbon fiber users are wearing gloves.
I mean, I do wear a glove, but I don't need to. And my hands don't sweat, but I'm so used to it now. Anyway, try one out. It's not a sales pitch. I'm just saying it's kind of a coincidence that I got that with a tip I didn't want, and all of a sudden I'm doing better with it. It's weird. The jade tip, whatever a jade is.
Yeah, that's their new one, the new green one at P-Shower.
Is it?
Yeah,
That's P-Shower's tip?
Yep.
Oh, who makes it? Just them?
I'm not sure.
Well, see, I thought I didn't want it, but I'm playing fine with it. And I was joking with Mark. I'm like, yeah, I got to put a new tip on. I've been doing too well with this one. And he's like, come here so I can slap you. How many people are going to say that to me?
Now, Cheryl does have a chance to pound this one ball in and break those balls up over there. And it's tough to imagine getting out without disturbing the 2 and the 4.
Right.
But she's decided just to roll it in and see what happens. She's actually landed on that teeny tiny window, it looks like, to get on the 7. Which, if that ball goes, I'd be drawing this in and trying to draw back and nudge the 2 and the 4 apart.
Yeah, I mean, if you can shoot the 7, now's the time. So Jeremy says, I've tried most of the carbons, the white carbon, the Q-Tech, play best for him. He doesn't prefer the Rogue himself, but his kid loves it. So it's personal preference. All I can say is that I'm shooting better with it, and I have no science behind it. It is what it is.
Okay, so she's rolled. Oh, she's turned up, given up her shot. What happened there? Did she call safe?
I think so, unless too late for the replay. She didn't bump a stripe, right? There's no ball in hand here. Okay.
I'm going to watch it on YouTube.
She must have called a safe and then made the ball.
And my spidey sense always goes with, if you're going to play safe, don't make the ball. Because if you're going to get into a safety battle, you want as many balls as possible. But I guess
if I was guessing, Cheryl did not want to make that ball. She wanted to block the pocket. So Angeline made a great shot, but unfortunately scratched in the side pocket, giving Cheryl ball in hand. Now, if you have ball in hand, you kind of got to get rid of that 4-2 trouble. If you're playing aggressively. I mean,
yeah, I just rewatched that shot that Cheryl played, and it wasn't a foul, and so she must have just not been planning on making that ball. Yeah, you have to break. You can't win without breaking up the 2 and the 4.
That should have been, if you're not feeling super confident, you're probably going to say, I'm going to leave that there because it's kind of defensive.
Yeah, and there's a certain level of playing where you think, well, I'm just going to shoot my open balls and worry about that later.
That's never
and
good.
It's a sort of a limiting logic.
Yeah, that's the difference between maybe between Fargo ratings, between 400, 700 players, right? Somewhere in the middle there, they play more aggressive, or they play more safeties. If they can't get out, they don't make any balls.
Yeah.
If you can't get out, stop making balls. Kind of the basic rules. Jeremy says, I'm a big fan of P-Shower. MH knows what my cues are.
Well.
What are they?
Do you have any idea what my memory's like, Jeremy?
Yeah.
No, I deal with so many people every day. I'm working on cues and putting tips on and this and that. And 6 months later, someone comes to me, MH, what was that tip you put on for me? Great shot, yeah. And
you can't remember. Maybe you should
don't
get like
remember,
a computer system where
Yeah,
you keep the names and their equipment and tips.
Yeah.
And then when they're like, hey, put that thing you put on last time. I don't remember. You could be like, beep, 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 beep. Oh, yeah. You had a P-Shower Jade.
Now, that was a nice bank shot, but what are we going to do now? She has a kick combination into the side pocket. Here it is.
Oh, that's not the side pocket where we're looking for. Here's that replay on the bank. She hit that very clean.
Yeah.
A lot of left English, too. Threw it in there.
Now, Angeline would like to get a game on the board. And
how do you like our new view?
Yeah.
Kind of gives you the player's view.
Right.
We've been listening to you, viewers out there. Tell us, sometimes we're just zoomed in too much all the time, and you want to see the stance. You want to see the people.
Yeah. Now, here's this same thing where we say, you got ball in hand. Do you really just want to shoot off the easy ones first? And then you've equalized and there's just a couple of balls left. But you then have to guarantee basically that you're going to turn the table over to your opponent and then just hope the complexities of the balls are going to stop your opponent winning.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying with ball in hand, you had to do something with the 9 ball.
Correct.
There's probably, she could have sneaked the cue ball in close to the 2 ball and shot the 9 in either the side pocket or a corner pocket.
Because it doesn't really go anywhere.
And it doesn't now, but except for, some really exacting position off the 10. There is still a way to get out here, but it's going to take some very, a really good shot now on the 10 ball.
I don't know if you noticed, but she kind of was standing up while she was following through on her stroke. And then she lifted her cue up in the air, too. So she's not real comfortable yet. She's not staying down and flowing with the motions. And that's the toughest thing about pool, really is. Easy to sit up here and say it.
Now she's probably better off hanging the 10 ball. Because if you make the 10 ball, you're going to disturb the 2 and the 9 in your next shot. And she's made it. Well, actually, if she kicked it out, that would have been great. I applaud the boldness of that shot. But being the last ball on the table, the 2 ball right now is safe. And so the last thing you want to do if you're not going to make this 9 is move it.
Right. Leave that 9 there.
Which is why you're better off leaving 2 balls on the table. And if she'd hung the 10 ball in the last shot, Cheryl would have broken the 2 and the 9 up.
Right. It could have been a whole different game.
So it's kind of opposites, isn't it?
It is.
What is the plan here? All right.
Now, if she called that in the upper left and it was close, and
Yeah,
she'd have had a
she
shot
did.
on the 8 too. Unbelievable.
She did, yeah. She was playing it just cutting it right across the table.
John says, "What's up, Sharks?" What's up, John?
John? John's like the most common name.
John Major.
John Major, former Prime Minister of Britain.
Correct. Unless it's Mager. I think I had it right. I don't know. John, let me know. Give me the pronunciation in chat. And I've probably asked you for that before.
John Major's the Prime Minister that took over after Margaret Thatcher got kicked out.
And that's why I just said John. You put me on the spot with that. I scientifically said John only.
In Britain, the most common name is John Smith.
John Smith.
Yeah. There was a TV show one time where explored all the different John Smiths in history, and one of the leaders of the political parties was called John Smith, and there's a John Smith beer, and John Smith is that character from the Pocahontas story.
Oh, really? That's a lot of John Smiths.
And everyone in the audience was there by invitation was John Smith. They had a whole audience of John Smiths and spouses. But in America, do you know what the most common name is?
Johnson?
Jose.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's probably not true.
I don't. You're just making stuff up. Look at that shot.
Wow.
I'm telling you, Cheryl's coming with the pain today.
4-0 to Cheryl.
2 more. That's
And
all she needs.
we're rooting for Angeline to come back here.
We do want to see a Hill match. I mean, that we pride ourselves here at Mad Apple Extreme. Side division, the open stream. And having competitive matches, Hill, thrillers.
Yeah, and for Angeline to come in and challenge, we applaud the attitude, and it would be really nice if she can get a few games under her belt before this match is over. I know she's got thousands of family and friends watching on, willing her on. I wonder if Michelle is out there watching. If you are, Michelle, drop us a line on the chat and let us know you're watching.
If anybody's watching, just peep in here. Just say hi.
Oh, John Fields. Figured he'd be tired from last night.
I thought we were going to delete that clip.
Which one?
If anybody's
one?
watching, just peep in here. Just say hi.
Hi.
I think we need a few more.
Well, yeah, we got to get creative,
A greater variety.
especially when we get a lot of commentators in the booth. You can start picking and choosing phrases, and I can make some new ones.
Yeah.
I just haven't had time to do it. So John says, I know John Smith. He's a very good pool player. Major is spelled with a J, right the second time.
Yep.
Mager. So I was right the second time.
Oh, there's a John Smith, the pool player. I didn't know that.
He's probably a snooker
There's so many
player.
John Smiths. John Smith's a pool player. Oh. Yeah, I knew that. John Major, of course, with a J. How do you... John Mager.
Correct. That's the second way.
There's the John in the chat.
Tea and crumpets.
The English language is crazy, and of course, there's no hard and fast rules. There's always exceptions to all the rules in English, and the reason for that is the English language comes from a lot of other languages, and Britain, of course, through its long history, was invaded by a lot of other countries. The Romans,
right?
The Vikings, the French,
Mm-hmm.
all at different
They're part of that.
periods of time got invaded Britain and took over, and
They're in a tough spot. That landmass.
yeah, well, when
Surrounded.
and when you invade a country, of course, you end up leaving parts of your language and your genetics, right?
Yeah.
That's what the Vikings did, right?
Yeah.
It's
funny. Joe Rogan was just had a guy on his podcast talking about Vikings. It was very informative.
Yeah, there's Viking remains all over Britain. The Vikings were all over Europe.
They're big people.
Yeah, and
they
I bet,
come from a.
You know what? I bet in hindsight they weren't that big. They were big relative to the people of the time, compared to these tall, large, overweight Americans. No, I don't mean
That's just the milk.
Well, I read somewhere that when you have lots of different races that are not inbred, mixing like you do in America, that it increases the average height, and I think there's a lot more. What in the old days we'd call freakishly tall people. Now it's fairly normal to see really tall people.
Yeah. 6 foot is kind of the average now.
I thought that 5'7" or something was the average height in Britain like 50 years ago or something like that.
You know, most actors are very short.
Are they?
You just can't tell because
Right.
they make them look tall on camera.
Yeah, they look big on the little TV screen, don't they?
Like Tom Cruise, I think he's only like 5'3".
Yeah, he's short. Sylvester Stallone is fairly short.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know what it is. You're just a better actor if you're a little shorter. Maybe.
But David Hasselhoff, he's tall.
Is he? I'd have to Google it.
I saw him once.
Hey, Google, how tall is David Hasselhoff?
He's 6'6".
If someone answers, if one of their Googles answer, let us know.
I think he's 6'6".
Jason Parker actually has the Google. You can make it like play music, and he's 6'6". You know that for sure. You looked it up.
I just remember. I don't know. That's what I think I remember.
Big fan of David Hasselhoff. Oh.
The singer.
Not the
Like in France and Germany. That's
lifeguard.
He's famous in France and Germany for being a singer. Did you know that?
No, I did not
Yeah.
know that. I didn't know he
Like
sang.
he had a separate career.
Really?
Actor over here.
Well, a lot of actors do a lot of entertainment, right? Some are magicians.
Meanwhile, serious pool match going on here.
I do not like the 11 because I feel like that's going to knock the 8 into the side. So she's not doing anything with that.
I do not like green eggs and ham.
I do not like the 11. All right, so the 13 all the way down?
Well, that'd be some shot. Difficult shot, this. It's one of those shots that
Ooh.
if the ball throws and has a bit of friction, that shot actually becomes impossible. Because the rail does not let you overcut that ball.
Right. It kind of spins off and rolls out.
Yeah, I mean, if the friction is above a certain amount on that shot where it's frozen on the rail, it is actually impossible without some kind of spin or way to counteract.
Correct. Or like worn out
the plain
cloth.
ball, but plain ball.
The little gutter that we're all used to on valleys. Nice shot on the 4.
That's a good shot.
Opens things up for her. John says the English language is crazy. James Rockwell says, met Sylvester Stallone. Great guy.
It's fairly short, isn't he, James? We should have Google in there, shouldn't we? I guess I do have my phone.
We could have a little Google in here, and then we can ask her questions and have her be part of the show. It'd be kind of cool. You know, you could talk about pool players. Like, how many championships has Shane Van Boening won? At least 30, 40. Ooh, hit the point. That's going to open up an opportunity for Cheryl. Looking at the 12 myself.
All right, Sylvester Stallone is 5'10".
Oh, that's not.
It's not super short.
No.
It's not super tall, though. You think of him as...
They probably
Massive,
lie
don't
about that. He's probably like 5'7". I mean, if you're a celebrity, you can put whatever you want on the internet. Let's ask James. Met him on a plane when I was in the military. So, James, is he 5'10" or is he lying?
Okay, David Hasselhoff is 6'4".
He's tall. Wow. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Mr. Knight Rider himself. Larry Dasso, congratulations. Thank you. It was fun.
Nice shot there, Cheryl.
Beautiful. Another opportunity on the 13 with...
It is an angle where
Yeah.
you just sort of roll this 13 down into the long corner, and that cue ball is kind of drift towards the 6 and get a friendly little nudge off the edge of it.
That's precise. Do you got to put a little top on this to help it?
Well, it has to roll, yeah. Otherwise,
Okay.
it's not going to go down there. It has to be rolling, and because they're so close, yeah, you have to hit it higher.
Yeah, see, James said closer to 5'7", 5'8", and Google said 5'8", right, for Sylvester Stallone?
5'10".
Yeah, see, they're lying. I'm telling
Look
you.
at that shot. Beautiful, that. Sneak behind the
You were
6 ball.
right. MH, you nailed it. That's why I don't get too specific. Did we all put our clocks forward?
That's why I'm so tired.
Yeah, spring ahead.
That's why I accidentally came to work an hour early.
Well, thank goodness you
Right, no.
did. Otherwise, I'd be in the booth by myself.
I never come in this early on a Sunday.
I was going to say it was weird that you were here. No, you're usually here.
No, I actually did come in early because I had to finish James in the junior league. I was working on a cue for him, and I knew he was going to be in, so I had to finish it.
So spring forward, that means we actually lost an hour of sleep.
I hear they're talking about getting rid of the daylight savings time.
They say that every time, and they never do.
And there's not any really strong reason to have it.
They say it's for the
Anymore.
kids.
Oh, at school?
Yeah, so
So
that you
it's
don't
not-
have kids waiting for a bus in the dark.
All right.
Like, I don't even know if they do that anymore.
Nice shot. Good finish there from Cheryl.
Beautiful.
And that puts her on the hill.
Oh,
And-
yeah, Cheryl 5.
and Angeline, I'm not biased towards one player there, but I am biased towards Angeline right now to come back a little bit. Well, I do know Angeline. I've known her for a good while from Oshkosh. And her sister Michelle. Good girls they are. And the challenger Angeline, I'd like her to leave this match having put a couple of racks under her belt.
Yeah, for sure.
1 or 2 or 6. Whatever,
It's tough to
whatever
get
she
that
wants.
first game.
Yeah.
We were talking about that earlier. I mean, you got to get that first game, then your nerves settle down, you breathe, and then you just power through.
I like that. Is that new? New now? Please share now.
Yeah, I stole it from one of Kendall's graphics.
Wow.
I just kind of piecemeal his stuff that he gives me. Yeah, please share now. Now, the Jesters will start at 1:30.
It's good too, isn't it? Queen of the Hill. That's a good phrase.
Queen of the Hill.
Queen of the Hill. Can I play in it if I identify differently?
You sure can.
It's getting all a bit cloudy out there, isn't it? In my day, we used to have Wonder Woman. Nowadays, it's Wonder if it is a woman.
I've got no comment.
Every ball is a rail.
Now, when I first heard, because that phrase comes from Ray Skinnerdor, doesn't it? Every ball is a rail.
He learned it from somebody.
When I first heard him say it, it made a lot of sense to me, but it turns out he's not seeing it the same way I do.
No, because the balls don't respond the same as the rails. I mean, he's really just talking the physics of the reaction.
What it meant to me is because if you talk about using outside English to reduce the amount of, or to get rid of friction, and so there's no throw if you use the right amount of outside English to match the angle, you have to know how much spin to put on that ball, and it's exactly the same question as how much spin do I put on the ball to if I'm playing a kick shot,
right?
And I don't want any friction on the rail. It's the same spin, and in that respect, I felt that every ball.
I don't know if he was putting
wasn't
so much on the spin.
He wasn't talking about any of that. No,
he was talking more of the carom side of things, right? You can use balls as rails to get position.
Just position, yeah.
Right. Minus all the other English and. So what do they call English in England?
Yeah, we don't use that word. We call it side spin.
Oh, side spin.
Yeah, and instead of draw, we screw.
Yeah, the deep screw.
Yep, you'll hear that on national television, on snooker. Look it up on YouTube. You'll still see it probably somewhere. Commentator will say, oh, that was a nice deep screw.
Yeah. Or a short screw.
And, of course, the word screw meaning sort of spinning.
Because it's spinning.
Screw back. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't think we have to explain that to our viewers. They know how the draw and the follow and the left and right work.
Yeah, we don't say bank shots. We say doubles. You're going to double the ball into the middle pocket.
I think I like the stun run through.
Yeah.
And the snick and the pot of ball. We're learning all that stuff in match room with Carl Boys, especially.
Oh, okay, yeah, he's been explaining that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, stun run through. Yeah, yeah, that's a phrase that actually there was no American equivalent for, and now you do hear the American commentators saying stun run through, which basically means it turns a little bit. It's not quite a stun; it goes forward just a little bit forward. Now, Cheryl, of course, has called a double on the 6. Okay, Angeline. She's going to stay focused here. She's looking good in green there. She's having a good old think about this.
Take your time,
10,
you know?
10 ball.
Sometimes you got to slow it down. Take control.
Roll it into the side pocket. Beautiful shot.
Does the 12 ball block the 8?
I think so.
Because if it does,
It's a little safety net, isn't it? And so you could kind of leave that till last, and
maybe you get back at
and
the
if you-
table,
if you
right?
if you get on the 12, you can still get out. Of course, the biggest question, and that's right. Before you do anything with the 12, figure out the 11 and the 15. Oh, she's taking the 12 now.
It's not bad. 8 now doesn't go in the other pocket. Switched it
Yeah.
with the 2. I was thinking now she could probably shoot the 11 in the side.
And Cheryl's just said something to her, right?
It definitely did not hit the 8 first, if that's what they're talking about.
Right. It was a good hit. And they're looking over to their friend on the sidelines over there. And he gave him the thumbs up, saying it was good too. He knows. He's watching he's watching the stream on his phone.
He is.
I wonder if he's listening.
Does he have earbuds? Are they still talking about it?
Yeah, I'm going to look back on my phone and take a little look at that.
Yeah, let us know in Chatland.
I'm pretty sure that was good. My first.
It was
instinct on that.
100% good.
Yeah.
I saw it with my own eyes twice.
Once with each eye.
Well, 4 times then, because I saw it on the left view, and then 2 seconds later on the right view, once with my left eye, then again with my right eye.
Brilliant.
And then I looked at the table and I saw it again, so 6 times.
Yeah, and the real truth is that. There you go. I'm watching it right here. But with the way where the 8 ball goes.
Nah, it's good.
It's close, isn't it?
It's easier to see on this screen.
Yeah, and the really you can tell there's where the 8 ball goes because
You might be able to zoom in a little there for yourself. There you go. Beauty.
if she hit the 8 ball,
100%.
it's a good hit.
Yep.
Um,
That's why people ask me to watch their shots.
otherwise, she'd have had to. It would have been, the 8 ball couldn't have got where it got. It was sort of extra thin cut.
Did you know? I've never made a bad call. I'm 100% with my refereeing.
I find that. Oh, I see. When you're.
Yep.
How do you know? The referee's always right.
I'm 100%.
Right? No one's allowed to argue with you.
Well, I'll tell them. If they ask me to watch a close shot, I say, I don't have my phone, so are you sure you want me to watch the shot? Because I'm going to have to go off of tangent lines and, stuff like that. Otherwise, I put my phone on 1A slow motion and I record it. And then I watch it, and then I watch the film. But if you do all that, you should never make a bad call if you understand physics,
Yeah, and
a little.
Yes, absolutely right. That helps. But when I'm watching a hit, I also just try and focus on really just perceiving which one it hits first, because all that other logic kind of sometimes makes you forget.
Yeah, you still have to watch the hit. Ooh.
Well, probably would have done better just leaving that 2 ball closer to the pocket and shootable.
Right. And I'm sure she did not want to tie that up. It's going to be a problem. Problem for both players.
And Angeline is thinking now about doing something with the 15, and the problem with that is, of course, Cheryl then has an open table with solids once the 15's gone. So if I was coaching her, I'd say, you know what, let's just, unless you're going to make this 15 and get out,
Leave it alone.
Which I wouldn't argue with that.
Ooh. It was actually tracking towards. Ball in hand for Cheryl.
Yep, and a nice open table.
What are you starting with here? Let's look at the overhead. She's got ball in hand. Cheryl's solids. What do you start with?
I think that the two balls that I kind of want to get out of there are either the 3 or the 7, because they kind of trip each other up. Well, no, the 7 goes in the corner, doesn't it? If
It does.
If the 7 is happily goes past the 2, then I'd probably shoot the 3 first. This is fine too if she draws back and gets nicely on the 3.
That's the key here, right?
There you go, and that's
Yeah.
exactly what she did. So now she roll forward gently and stop just short of straight on the 7.
So the goal here is you want to basically have either a straight in shot on the 2 after the 7 or an angle to get to the outside and then shoot all 3 of those balls.
Yeah, and that's right. And because it goes both ways, it's not the end of the world if you get on the other side. But that's good because she can just play.
It's a little shorter though, right? I kind of wanted a couple more inches in.
Yeah. Soft, sweet draw shot, and because of the angle there, yeah, you're right. She'll probably pop off the rail and have a little angle on the 2. As long as it's not too much that it makes the shot tougher and more missable.
You have a tendency to slow roll a shot like this in.
Well, and that actually would be okay as long as you make sure you don't clip the 2 on the way through.
Right.
And it just seems scary to slow roll it, doesn't it?
I don't like it.
But
I feel like I'm going to get too close to the 2.
But from a tactical point of view, there's a nice thing where you play putting speed. You know, you get the ball just to the pocket and no harder. Because then if it hangs, it's blocking the 8 ball. And she's sitting pretty good. But obviously she would love this to fall in.
Randy Barlick, good morning.
She's aiming low. I don't know if she is playing a little stun shot here. No. Yeah, roll it.
Just roll it in.
Yeah, that's simplest, and she hit it perfect.
Now with this shot, a little top and a touch of right. Just
no,
a touch. You don't like the right.
There's no need for the right.
Okay, you don't want to scratch, right? If you put right, you could scratch.
You can put too much right on and end up on the bottom rail, and also
good point.
The timing has to be right. When you start using inside English, you've got to time it right, and if you mistime it, you miss the shot, and so that makes the shot missable. Whereas the simple rolling shot, just as long as it's not just enough speed to drift.
Got to hit it hard enough to come out. Ooh, she did put a little inside on there. Maybe.
I just hit it harder than she needed, but
yeah,
a little softer. That should have been straight in. But
I'd be okay with this though. If this was it for the match, and you gave me this shot, I'm not complaining. That's all I'm saying.
You're right.
So if this ends the match, I want to tell everybody we're going to restart the stream for the Jesters in 1 hour. So subscribe so you get the notification, hit the bell.
Well, a valiant effort from Angeline. Hope she had fun. We applaud her attitude and decision to come down here. But another good win for Cheryl. Now, Cheryl's been winning a good few weeks in a row now, hasn't she?
She's been winning for, I don't know the exact number, but I would say 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, and Cheryl Erbrecht is still Queen of the Hill.
Queen of the Hill. She'll be back next Sunday. Actually, I don't know if we have it next week because of Whammo.
Correct. So, and it's not just Whammo. At the Mad Apple, simultaneously with Whammo is
Whammo's the week after. Isn't it?
Yeah. So, but next week we are off. There's not going to be pool league after Tuesday. So
Correct.
Monday league is normal. Tuesday league is normal. After that, there's no more pool league or tournaments at the Mad Apple because we are going to be removing all the pool tables on Tuesday night. There's not going to be any pool tables in the pool hall. The foosball state championship is going to roll into town and fill this place up with foosball tables. And if you're interested in watching the foosball matches, it will be streamed. So the stream table is going to be taken over with foosball. That means all pool action is postponed until the following week.
So the long story short is we're off for a week, maybe 2.
Yes, that's what I was trying
All
to
right.
say. Yes.
Nick Light, good afternoon.
Hello, Mr. Light.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Getting over his little cold there.
Yeah,
Hold on.
hope you feel better.
We've got Challenger before we go. Challenger, Angeline is just about to step into the box and say a few words.
Do you want to say hi?
Back on the list.
Back on the list.
Patrick.
We'll have your valiant effort, Angeline.
Patrick, put her back on the list. She wants another crack at it. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll be back shortly.